Coming up for you on today's ATV, many of us are addicted to phones. Dawson will give us an inside look on one of America's biggest addictions.
We are also going to have a look into the Quidditch team.
Also, we are going to take a look at this week's weather forecast.
Welcome to the show. I'm Austin Childs.
And I'm Mitchell Fields. Today is Friday, October 26th, 2018.
Thank you for joining us.
ATV starts now. Early voting started last Wednesday at 11 a.m. It will close November 1st. In the early voting, voters will elect a senator, representatives of District 8 and 9, and the governor. Voters will need at least one of the following IDs: a Tennessee state-issued driver's license with a photo, United States passport, photo ID issued by the Tennessee Department of Safety, or Homeland Security photo ID issued by the federal or Tennessee state government, United States military photo ID, or a Tennessee handgun carry permit with a photo.
Seniors, don't forget that next Wednesday, Balfour will be coming to tell you about senior announcements and graduation keepsakes. Make sure you're here and to secure your spot in the yearbook. Balfour will be coming back Wednesday, November 7th to collect money and information packets. They will be located outside the cafeteria during all lunches. So if you don't want to forget your senior year, be sure to buy yourself a yearbook and keepsakes. This year there will be a wider range of keepsakes such as sweatpants, t-shirts, and other small items. Now let's go to Dawson live at the window about cell phone addiction.
Do you feel like you're on your phone a lot? Well, you're not alone. Let's take a look. Many of our fellow students may have an addiction that they didn't even know they had. This addiction is an addiction to our phones. This addiction can be seen everywhere. It can be seen in our cafeterias, in our classrooms, and yet we do nothing about it. Let's take a look at what some of our students have said about their phones.
Oh man, I have a full day. Oh man, 5 maybe? 5 hours, I don't know. Right, something like that, 5, 6 hours. What is it?
6 hours and 27 minutes a day on your phone.
That's a good guess. That was a good guess.
Maybe like 2 hours.
You spend 4 hours and 15 minutes a day on your phone.
Dang.
Like 2 hours.
Alright, can I see your phone?
Yeah.
Alright, you spend 4 hours and 30 minutes on your phone a day.
Jeez, that's a lot.
About an hour.
Alright, can I see your phone? Alright, you spend 3 hours and 30 minutes a day on your phone.
Yikes.
The average person spends 90 minutes a day on their phones, and yet our students are spending multiple hours.
Dawson.
If you think you have a phone addiction, please reach out to your parents, teachers, or counselors. I'm Dawson Stoneman. Back to our wonderful anchors at the desk.
Seniors, this coming Tuesday, October 30th, is a senior retake of the ACT. Improving your composite scores could include more money, scholarship money. Make sure you're well rested and come ready for your test. Please remember to bring an acceptable photo identification, 2 number 2 pencils, and a calculator.
Many of you have seen the new construction around the square in Arlington. Let's take a closer look at what's being developed.
The Arlington community is happy to hear that there will be a new Brindleys and a new apartment building being built at Town Square. We asked a couple of high school students what their thoughts were on the new buildings being built.
Brindley.
Here, stare at me.
It's going to be a great experience. I heard the old one was pretty good. The new one's going to have upstairs, I heard. It's going to be a good experience. The S.Y. Wilson, heard they're getting some new stores. It's going to be pretty cool.
Well, the new buildings in Arlington. A big one, the Brindley. I worked at the old one. I was there for a couple weeks before it burnt down, and I was sad to see it go. Great restaurant. It adds an extra pizzazz to the town of Arlington. There's so much rich history that comes behind all those buildings, that S.Y. Wilson. I mean, we've all heard the stories, but I'd really like to see the town of Arlington bring that to life.
Both Brindley's and the new apartment building that is now leasing are planning to be done a total of 4 months from now. I'm Ben Pyron, signing off from ATV.
For more info on the growth in Arlington, visit ahstigerlife.com. I'm reporter Peyton Johnson. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Peyton. For more information on the new building, visit ahstigerlife.com. Now let's see what Abby and Maddie have gotten on the lowdown in this week's principal problems.
Students have been complaining about the locked doors in the morning. We interviewed Mr. Gibson to let us know why they are only keeping the rotunda doors unlocked.
Over the summer, we had the Shelby County Sheriff's Department give our campus an assessment of how safe it was. And one area that they spoke about was the unsecured doors in unmonitored areas. And so the suggestion was to close off the amount of entryways into the school to where you can monitor the entryways a little bit better. And so in doing that, we created the scan pads for multiple doors and reduce the number of entryways for students. We just remind the students that it is for their safety, and eventually everybody will get used to it.
Lately, many students have been having problems with their iPads and iPad accessories. If you are one of these students, make sure to fill out a Happy Fox ticket on your iPad. You can access these in the ACS iPad Help app on your iPad. The library is working as quickly as possible to fix all of these issues, so please be patient with them. When they are ready for you, they will send a note to your teacher.
I'm Will Evans, and here's what's making news this week. This past week, a migrant caravan carrying more than 7,000 undocumented migrants from Central America crossed the Guatemalan-Mexican border. The goal is to make it to the U.S., but President Trump says they must apply for asylum while in Mexico. If they fail to do this, then they will be turned away. Now up for the state of Tennessee, early voting has opened up October 17th and will remain open until Election Day, which is Tuesday, November 6th. The turnout for young voters has been remarkable so far. The opening days of early voting was over 120,000 people. This is about 22,000 less than those who voted early during the 2016 presidential election, and nearly 4 times the amount of first-day voting for the midterm election in 2014. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Stay tuned for more ATV after the break.
I was voting in the new election. I actually voted in the midterm election. You know, there's an election every 2 years.
Who cares, bro? I'm trying to finish up my work. I don't need this.
You should honestly care about this type of thing. You're 18 and just a few months. This stuff affects you. But, I mean, if you vote, you can get out of that, honestly.
There's a new sport coming to Arlington High School. It's pretty magical. Let's check it out.
If you've read books from the Harry Potter series, you might be familiar with the new sport coming to AHS. It's called Quidditch, but it's not played the same way it is in the books.
Basically, you try to get a volleyball through 3 hoops, don't get hit by a dodgeball, and then once you're ahead, your team has to try and get a tennis ball off a cross-country runner that's in a tube sock.
This sport isn't completely new to AHS. It was here before, but it didn't last very long. However, some students were inspired to start it up again.
I'd always been interested because my brother told me about it when I was in the 8th grade, and then when I became a freshman, it turned out that Mr. Wilhide had stopped doing it. And so it's kind of like my hopes and dreams got crushed, so I tried to restart it.
When the news of Quidditch coming back to AHS came out, teachers knew that coaches were needed. It wasn't very difficult to find coaches due to the impact of the Harry Potter series on many of our teachers.
Well, I loved reading Harry Potter when I was growing up, and you know, I always wished I could have played Quidditch, so I figured I might as well coach it.
There's still time to join in on this unique sport. If you're interested in playing, go see Mr. Ward in room 307. As always, go Tigers.
Hey Arlington, I'm Mason Woolbright, your most comical weatherman, and today on Arlington News 5, we're going to be looking at the 3-day forecast. So for Thursday, we have a 40% chance of showers with a high of 54 and a low of 46. For Friday, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 57 and a low of 43. And for Saturday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 43. So, I'm Mason Woolbright, and that's your 3-day forecast.
Let's see what Bryce and Wade have created for this week's special segment.
Hi, I'm Bryce Painter, and I'm here to tell you about some places of interest in the town of Arlington. If you do not live in the town of Arlington, then I do very recommend you visit these places. This place is known as the Visitor Center. This is where we can learn what to do in Arlington if you are new to the area. They have pamphlets to tell you about the Memphis area. If you are coming off of I-40 and don't know where you are or what to do, definitely take a gander at this place. This is where the middle of Arlington is, and most things happen. We have a place to do CrossFit, another place allows you to paint, we also have vinegar gyms. We have an event where a band plays on the stage while food vendors sell food and you can just sit and relax. This is called Arlington on the Square. Also during Christmas, we dress up the tree with a bunch of ornaments and a star. There are a lot of historic events that are here in the heart of Arlington. This is what we Arlington folk call the Park of Dreams, or the FedEx Park. There's this plane with a slide in the middle of the park that says FedEx on the side of it, and that's how it's got its name for FedEx Park. But there are pathways, old workout stations, and picnic locations for families to go eat on a beautiful sunny day. This place is called Ortho 1 and can be used if you have any sports-related injuries. If you have back or muscle pains, this is the place to go. It is a great town to visit, but sadly our time here is up. It was fun while it lasted. I'm Bryce Painter, and I hope to see you soon.
Current governor of Tennessee.
Phil Bredesen. No.
I have no idea. Who are the current senators of Tennessee?
Lamar Alexander and Bob Corker.
No idea again. Go. Who is the current vice president?
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence?
The Arlington High School football team takes on Collierville at home with kickoff at 7 p.m. In 5 days, the spookiest night of the year takes place. Have fun and be safe if you decide to take you, family, or friends to go trick-or-treating or any legal activity.
That's all we have for today, Tigers.
Have a great day.
ATV ends now.